Welcome back, guys. This is Dr. D, and today we will explore some studying techniques that are sure to get you on track this semester. This video is the second in the series Getting Started, and it's entitled How to Succeed in A&P. So we all know that the amount of time studying is important, but what's more important is the quality of the time that we spend, and that'll make the difference between a frustrated student and a happy student. A common myth among students and educators is that reading is the most effective way to learn. Does this look familiar? In fact, the written word is the least effective way to build memories, unless you're reading something really engaging. Your brain makes memories like a computer. A part of your brain is dedicated to the storage of the memories, and another part of your brain is dedicated to making associations connected to the memories. Think of memories like bits of data. The way your brain retrieves the data depends on how your brain has organized, categorized, and tagged the information. Think of your hard drive as the millions of cells and their interconnections involved in forming and storing memories. As your nervous system builds a memory, pieces of the memory are stored in various places of your hard drive. Think about your computer desktop. If every file that was in your computer was on your desktop and not organized into folders, it would be very difficult to find what you needed. A neat desktop helps you stay focused and calm, just like a well-organized brain. So my suggestion for you is to take the information you get from class and reorganize it into manageable groups or related bits of data. Take my example of the bones of the wrist. There are 8 bones in the wrist, which is part of the hand. Use folders and subfolders and files to organize the information, and it will be easier to retrieve at a later date. Memories are also easier to retrieve when you give them reference points. This is done through making stories, analogies, and using mnemonics as study aids. So give these techniques a try and see how well your search engine does during test time. What you do outside of the classroom is as important as what goes on in class. Succeeding in A&P is not just about taking notes, but about telling a story. Whether you are in class or somewhere else, you want to engage all of your senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. Well, maybe not all of your senses. So we have the 3 senses that we engage during study: the visual, the auditory, and the kinesthetic. You want to become an active learner. Reading alone is not enough to do well. Being an active learner means owning the material so that you could teach it if you had to, which is impossible if you wait until the night before to study. So take really good notes in class, from videos, and from the textbook. And then rewrite them, turning them into visual stories, interconnecting them into a visual map. Let's look at an example of how we can take our written notes and convert them into a visual note. The cell membrane, also known as the plasma lemma, surrounds the cell and is composed of 2 lipid layers called the lipid bilayer. The lipid bilayer is composed of rows of phospholipids, which each contain a hydrophilic head and a hydrophobic tail, and forms a semi-permeable membrane. Now let's take a look at a visual note of the same information, and you'll see how much more fun this is. Well, at least I had fun. You can then take your visual notes and produce a visual map, which is a group of ideas or concepts on the same topic. For example, this body systems map, or this time management map, which some of you might find useful. So drawing visual maps is an extremely effective way to engage your senses so that the information that you need to learn can be more fully understood by you, and test taking becomes less stressful. And that ultimately is the goal of this video, to help you feel more confident and less stressed taking this course. And now, here are my top 10 suggestions for you that can help you succeed in A&P. Come to a lecture prepared for the day's work by watching and taking notes on required videos and by answering the study guide questions as best as you can. Let the study guide questions guide you through the textbook, focusing you on the required material. And be prepared to answer questions in lecture through clicker quizzing and group interaction. Bring questions on any material that is confusing to you so that we can clarify the material in class. For lab, make sure you read through the exercises and activities that are scheduled for the day and answer the assigned review questions ahead of time. Use your time wisely in lab. If you've come prepared, you'll know exactly what you will be doing and will be utilizing lab time effectively. My number 2 suggestion is to take your notes and study through building maps and stories. Utilize many study tools to not only build memories, but also their reference associations so that you can retrieve those memories when you need to. Visual maps are the best study tools for learning the more complicated physiological processes of the body. My number 3 suggestion is to make flashcards and use them to study, but don't rely on them solely like many students often do. Flashcards are best used for memorizing names and definitions, where rote memorization is needed. My number 4 suggestion is to test yourself on a daily basis, and not just the stuff that you already know. Challenge and push yourself to figure out what you don't know, and spend your time there. My number 5 suggestion is to find study partners that are serious about studying. If you find yourself spending more time on gossiping than studying, then find another group, or take charge yourself. Once you find a group to work with, then test each other a lot. My number 7 suggestion is to use online sources such as Mastering A&P and other useful resources. But be cautious, do not overstudy by studying material that's not required. Let the study guide questions guide you there. Number 8 on the list is go to extra lab time on the weekends. There are no classes held in the labs from Friday to Sunday, so take advantage of this laboratory study environment during those times. My number 9 suggestion is that if you find yourself having difficulty with the course material, make an appointment to get together with me to figure out the best approach for you to take in the course. Don't let too much time go by. It's important to get a good head start with good study skills early on. My final suggestion for succeeding in A&P is to have fun. No matter what your reason is for taking this course, learning about the human body and how it works is an awesome experience. I hope the information in this video proves useful for you as we go through the semester, and remember what your best resource is. That's right, me. Get into my head and you'll do just fine.